At Glenboig we are going for gold, and we really deserve it as so many pupils are now trying different sports.
I'm so excited that Kieron is visiting our school. I'm a season ticket to the Glasgow Rocks and never miss a game, and he is my best player overall.
In our class we made basketballs filled with Kieron's career facts.
P23 have made happy retirement cards for Kieron Achara.
I started my career, I was quite late to basketball. I was about 14, 15. It was just at school. One of our sixth year pupils, he was running the basketball team, and I think he thought, okay, you're really tall so you can play basketball. But I just love sport. I did lawn bowls, believe it or not, before basketball. I did a little bit of rugby, football. So basketball just was something I just did for fun. I went along to the school team, had some fun with from friends. We played a lot, like I said, multi-sports there. Went on and won the school cup, and from there I ended up joining a basketball club. So I went to Falkirk Fury, started playing basketball for Falkirk Fury, and all of a sudden I'm in America for a basketball camp, which was sponsored by the Prince's Trust. And there, when I was over in the States, they were telling me that you could get a scholarship if I worked really, really hard. Had no idea what a scholarship was, but the chance to get to go to university in America and play basketball and study, it was a no-brainer for me. So that's when I really started taking basketball really seriously. Upped up my practice sessions, made sure I was practicing before school, after school, dedicated my life to the sport, and thankfully ended up getting that scholarship to go over to America.
We've been really, really fortunate to have a great relationship with the Glasgow Rocks basketball club. It started off with a pupil who was really interested in basketball and wrote me a letter, and I just managed to get in touch with Josh from Glasgow Rocks, who began by running a club. However, it was for girls. Now, that has been extremely successful, and the uptake was sustained and then also increased. However, some of our boys were a bit disappointed, and they wrote to me, and the power of the pen and the power of the pupil wrote to me and said that they would like a boys' club. So one of our teachers agreed to do that, and it's been really successful. But if it wasn't for the initial input from Glasgow Rocks and the support that Josh has given the school, then we wouldn't have been able to do all of that. He's supplied us with equipment and supported us, which also allowed the boys' club to run, which was actually a mixed group, but a club that any of the boys were able to access on the Friday. They've also helped to encourage children with the sport in that they've invited us along to some games and enabled us to meet some players, children shooting hoops on the court, which has been something we could never have done. We would never have been able to access that if it wasn't for that partnership.
Kieron is 6'10" and primary 3-4 have made facts up to his height.
Kieron is a size 15 and every pupil has wrote an inspiring quote onto his shoe size.
Josh runs a girls basketball club and he's been teaching us different skills. He is amazing and he has been doing different things with us and he makes it so much fun.
Okay, so we spoke to the sports coordinator last year, and unfortunately the uptake was very, I don't know. Poor, yes. So it was less than 20% across the whole school, and it was even lower for girls particularly. This year, so far in term 2, we've managed to increase that to 76%, and over 50% of that is girls. So that's been the highest increase of this year.
Across our cluster as well.
Yeah, and across the cluster. So it's a really, really successful...
But I think what we've done to make that happen is we've targeted different groups. We've sat and looked at our registers and looked at which children are taking them up.
Yeah.
And then we've also tried to bring different types of clubs in that would match up with children's interests or where we've seen a previous interest before to try and get them involved in it.
Yeah.
So I think that's been really, really helpful and allowed children to explore different sports, and there's been a wee bit of encouragement along the way, and we've had to also encourage especially the girls to say, be yourself, don't do what your friends want to do what you're interested in, give it a go. If it's not for you, then you don't need to stick with it, but it's worthwhile giving it a go.
And each time we assess, we look at the numbers, we can pinpoint and target specific age groups and specific children. So last term we had a drop in primary 4, so we've really looked for this term to push that forward and attract children that haven't previously been engaged in the sports.
It's brilliant that the teachers have been running so many clubs at school, as it inspires families to get involved with sports outside school.
It's great the teachers have run after school clubs. I've been to football, athletics and badminton. They've all been brilliant.
I've loved this year and I've got involved in so many different sports: karate, basketball, cross country, gymnastics, athletics and badminton. It has been brilliant. Glenboig for gold.
Highlight basketball wise, I would say it was the Commonwealth Games with the Scotland team in 2018. Specifically because it was a team who was written off. We were told we nearly never even made it there. We were the last seeded team, and to actually go on and compete for a medal. Unfortunately, we never won a medal, but to make it to a medal game, I think we were the first ever Team Scotland team to actually make a medals game. So we made history in that respect. But just a great bunch of guys, and we went really far. But as in my biggest achievement would be getting my degree. I was the first in my family to get my degree, and I actually was the only one in my neighbourhood that actually finished high school. So it was a great achievement for me. So my advice for anyone who's watching this, it's not necessarily around basketball per se. It's around being a better person. And I said that I never knew what I wanted to be when I was younger. And I think the first step is actually trying. So I think too many people in Scotland believe, oh, I'm not good at this, I'm not good at that. Well, who cares? No one's good at something straight away. It's something you have to work for. So it's just giving yourself a chance. And like I said, if you really want to build up yourself, build that belief, you have to work for it. There's going to be pitfalls. You're going to be told you're not good enough at times. You're going to be told this. But if you have that kind of purpose, that kind of drive, you will improve. And that's the thing for life. It's not just for basketball. Like right now, I'm transitioning from playing. If I was just known and identified as the basketball guy, my life would essentially be over. So I'm going to have to transition into something else. But I've still got that confidence and that belief. That's what I learned through basketball. Learned that if you work hard, good things can happen. So that's what I'm going to take on to later life. So just make sure you're working hard and asking for help when you need it, and just keep on pushing through.